Today we're going to be working on our flow to help us feel a little bit bolder, a little bit taller, and a little bit stronger. We want to open up that body, and then hopefully we can take that and transfer that into our minds to help us make clearer, wiser, smarter decisions for ourselves. So take 5 to 10 minutes if you can and do a little warm-up, and we're going to come straight into our flow. So taking a big breath in here for a moment, bringing the hands into heart center. Breathing in, pushing down through those feet, thinking about the line between the skull, the scapula, and the sacrum. Feet together or about hip distance apart. We'll take a breath in. We're going to push back through the seat, thinking about keeping those knees in line with the ankles or behind the toes at least. You may have a tendency to arch in that spine, so tuck that pelvis a little bit if that's you. We're in that chair pose, so we can bring those arms up. Chair pose actually translates to fierce, because you're pretty fierce if you can hold this for a long time. From here, we'll bring those hands back to heart center. Breathing in, we step back with the right foot on those toes, and then bringing the right heel down, coming up into our warrior one. Pushing down through the back and the front feet, rising up through the center. Strength here, center on, hips facing forward. We'll bring those hands back to heart center as we're going to come into our warrior three or our aeroplane. So it helps to wake up that chest and keep that center firing with those hands at heart center, pushing into the hands. We'll pivot onto the toes of the back foot. We'll transition our weight into the front. You might want to toe step the feet forward here, or you may be able to come forward, taking the weight off the back foot. Keep thinking about active in that grounded leg. See where you are. I still get wobbles here. And maybe those arms come forward, thinking about the length from the crown to the heel. Breathing into that center, still not switching off. Hands coming back to center, and we'll step back into our warrior two. Thinking about the back being on the wall behind you. Even weight here, rising up, not collapsing into that front knee. We are strong here. Those back hand will come down onto the thighs. We reverse that warrior, looking up at the top hand. Big breath in, growing taller, feeling the space between the hips and the ribs. Bending that top elbow onto the front knee to our warrior variation. See how it feels to look down at the foot in front of you, releasing that neck, letting that pressure go, tension go. We'll reverse that warrior one more time. Keep pushing down through the back foot to keep the leg active. Warrior variation, one more time. Looking down at that front foot, active through that center. If the front arm wasn't on that knee, would you collapse, or are you still strong in that center? Breathing in, those arms will come back, and we're in our warrior two. We'll bring those hands into heart center. We're going to pivot onto the toes of the back foot. We're in our crescent lunge, bending the back knee, thinking about the length in that body. Up in the pelvis, if you're that tilter or tucker, getting back to that neutral. From here, we're going to take some high knees. So pushing our weight into the front foot, firing through those glutes, hands pressing in at prayer. Big breath in. We're going to think about moving our weight into our front foot. You may need to toe tap the feet through depending on your stability, and you may take toe taps here, just bringing the foot off and on the ground. You may have the stability in your body to bring that right knee up, flexing that right foot. Seeing how that feels for you, keep pushing into the hands, stable here. Stepping it back into crescent lunge, thinking about keeping the length in the body the whole time. We don't want to crash on landing. Take it at the pace that is right for your body. We'll do that again. We'll take a couple of these. We're going to have some options, so keep listening to what is right for you. That high knee to crescent lunge. Maybe the arms can come up when the knee comes up. Stepping back, soft, gentle, but strong. Knees come up, crescent lunge. Maybe you can add a little jump. Thinking about what's right for you though. Little jump, thinking about that length. Still working on that myself. Maybe you have it already. See what's right for you. Take whatever's working for your body. And we'll step back and open out into our goddess. Thinking about those knees being in line with the ankles here, glutes are firing. Again, if you're that tipper or tucker in the pelvis, check you're not flaring and tucking here, finding that neutral. Bring the hands onto the pelvis and the sacrum. Find your neutral. From here, we can bring the hands into heart center. Pushing into those hands again, opening the chest. Maybe take some few pulses here. Check where your knees are going. Take a little look for a moment. Do you need to bring those feet in, closer together? Do you want to change the angle of your feet? Rising up one more time, lengthening those legs. Pivoting onto the toe of the back foot, front foot pointing forward, we are back in that crescent lunge. From here we're going to come into our tree pose. So pushing the weight into that front leg again, firing those glutes. You may need to toe tap your way forward, or you may be able to take a step, bringing that back foot into the calf. Maybe the toe stays down on the foot. Got that little ballerina point? I was never a ballerina. See what works for you. We're in that tree, not locking that left leg that is planted on the ground, being aware that you need a slight softness if you're a knee locker. Breathing into that center, finding that stability. Maybe the arms can come and open out. Maybe they can grow tall. Maybe you want to be the sunshine over your tree, bringing those arms open. And all the way back to prayer above the crown, hands coming down to heart center. Placing that right foot beside the left. Take a moment and see what it is that you're feeling down the side of your body that you've been working and firing on that left side. What feels more open? Do you feel more space between those ribs and those hips? We're going to take that on the other side now. So those hands are in prayer at heart center. Pushing down through the feet, long in the spine, pushing back through the seat. Breathing here, adjusting for your pelvis, thinking about what needs done, tipping or tucking, finding that neutral. Those arms can come forward and up if you've got that space and that stability to keep that here. Stepping back with the left foot on those toes. Bring the heel down. We'll come up into our warrior one. Check that front knee. Is it falling out or leaning in? Try to keep that in line with the second or third toe. Big breath in here, rising up, feeling the space from the ribs to the hips, growing taller, owning your space. Hands will come into heart center, opening that chest, coming onto the toes of the back foot. We're going to come into our warrior three or our aeroplane. So we'll start to think about the heel of the back foot to the crown of the head. Pushing into the front foot, maybe you just toe tap here, little taps. Maybe you're able to bring the back foot up, flexing the back foot as if you're standing on that. Maybe those arms can come forward, sensing the stability on this side compared to the other. Being aware of what's happening in your body and stepping back into our warrior two. Thinking about the back being against the wall behind you, either looking over the front hands, or maybe the head is looking at the wall or the space in front of you, whatever's more comfortable for your body. The back hand is going to come down onto the thigh at the back, top hand rising up, looking down at the back foot, letting that neck release. We hold so much tension here. We'll come into our warrior variation. Elbow bending on the top arm, coming onto the top thigh. The front thigh. Hands reaching up at the top. Neck looking down at the back, at the front foot. Strong through that center. We're not collapsing and putting all our weight into the front leg. Reversing that warrior one more time. Thinking about growing through the ribs, growing through the side body. Keep active in that back leg. We're not hanging out in it. We're strong, tall, stable, boulder. Bend the elbow of the top arm. We'll reverse that warrior one more time. Warrior variation one more time. Releasing that neck. Checking that that knee is staying in line with the second or third toe on the front foot. We'll come back up to our warrior two. And we're going to open up into our goddess pose. Big breath in here, big breath out. We'll pivot the feet forward and we're going to come into our high knee. So we're from our crescent lunge, thinking about keeping strong in the body here, bending that back knee to keep that body long, pressing the arms into the heart center. Inhale, maybe the toe taps will come forward. See how that feels for you. Maybe that foot will come up of the left leg, flexing that left foot as if you're standing on it. Keep pressing into those hands, opening the chest. Stepping back into our crescent lunge. Taking a couple of those, seeing how that feels for your body. Woo! Wobbly on this side for my body. Maybe you're stronger on this side in your body. Taking a few more. Maybe you can bring the arms up as the leg comes up. Soften that standing leg, firing the glutes, giving you that stability. Using that core, keep breathing into your core. Maybe you can add a little jump. Woo. See, it's harder for my body on this side. I don't tend to jump on that side, but do it if it's working for you. I'm building this. From here we step back into our goddess, thinking about those knees being in line with the ankles, the glutes are on. Imagining those sit bones drawing and firing together, keeping those glutes active. Hands on the pelvis and sacrum. Maybe taking those little pulses here. Maybe you want to bring those arms out into cactus. As you do, keep checking your spine alignment. Breathing in and out. Using that core as you do this. Keep checking in with those knees. And then we'll rise up. Come on to the toes of the back foot. We're in that crescent lunge again. Bending that back knee. We're going to come into our tree again. Opposite side though. See what the stability is for your side of the body this time. You might want to toe tap the feet through. Like so. You may stay on the toe of that left leg. You may be able to bring the arch of the foot into the calf. You may be able to bring the arch of the foot into the thigh. So we want to stay on the calf or the thigh, keeping that knee clear. See what works for you. Keep pushing into the hands, firing through that standing leg. Maybe your arms can come up into cactus. Maybe they reach high, tall in your tree. Maybe you can be the sunshine above your tree, making those arms big, long, strong. Feeling stronger, that left foot will come down, the hands will come to heart center. Take a moment to sense how that feels on that side of the body. Do you feel balance firing in that body? One side working a little bit harder. One joint maybe working a little bit harder. Maybe the muscles in one space, hotter, harder. Can you feel the length from the ribs to the hips? A little bit taller, a little bit bolder. Bring those hands into heart center. Take a moment to appreciate what it is that your body has done for you and how you want to acknowledge that in your mind and go make stronger decisions for yourself. Have a beautiful day.